Hello and welcome to Nanapod, a podcast dedicated to the fantastic manga written by A. Yazawa. I'm Crystal, and I'm joined by my best girl Kirsten as we dissect this manga, discussing everything from the emotions, the cultural impact, as well as any headcanons that might be floating around in our brains. With this podcast, we hope to preserve a shoujo staple that sadly hasn't been talked about in a very long time. So come with us. We're waiting for you in apartment 707.
We're in chapter 22?
Yes, we are in
Volume
chapter
7.
22. We're getting there.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not even remotely close. Are we
No,
like,
we're
how far are we in? Nope, we're not.
No, we're not. I mean,
Aren't we like we're about a quarter way.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
There's 21 volumes, so...
Yeah. But the chapters they're not like exactly in each volume.
True.
They flitter and flop. I can start if you want.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so what? Chapter 22, Volume 7. The first image, I don't have a color one. And it's Shin and Nobu looking cool, I assume, for like band photos or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the stairs. And then we have a
Mhm.
picture of the cake that Hachi made that says Blackstones with the strawberries and blueberries. And it says, despite the fact that I was getting along really well with the band members and that I went to their practice every night, I wasn't part of Blast. And not only was I saddened by the perspective of feeling that more and more, but I was especially terrified. Why am I so weak? And then we have Nobu laying in bed, asleep, with the doorbell ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like super early. And he gets up and he throws open the door and he yells, Shin, where did you forget your key? Except it's Nana. And so when he opens his eyes, she goes to ring the doorbell, but it's his forehead. And she says, ding, and then hits his forehead, dong.
I love it.
And this dress kind of reminds me of one of the dresses that George made in Parakiss, like the stripy one. It kind of reminds me of that, just a little more stylized, like more Vivian Westwood, less George.
Yeah. Less George.
Right. Less George.
Oh, man.
And so she just like walks into his apartment. What? And so like Nana, she's got her little hands on her chin. And she's like, "Where is she?" And Nobu's like, "Who?" Nana's like, "All right, that's good. You didn't bring a girl home." And then Nobu's like, "Mind your business." And then she's just back there with like this big bag. She looks like a child with little pigtails and this bag that has a big heart on it. And she's like, "I brought you breakfast, sweetie." And he's like, "Stop playing around." And so now she's like unpacking. How many? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
So many.
7, 8.
So many.
8 Tupperware containers of food, and then the cake and fell on it. And Nobu's looking at the food getting unpacked, and he's like, "You think I can eat all that right now?" And Nana's like, "There's even a cake, heart." And he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And so then she opens the thing to the cake, and then he freaks out. And then he realizes, plus an entire cake. Dude, she just said that, by the way.
Right.
She just said, "There's even a cake." There's no cake, probably still asleep, you know?
I mean, so, yeah.
Right? He's probably still half asleep.
Yeah. A whole cake!
It is 6 a.m, and I don't think she slept. So...
Right.
And so then he looks at the cake, though, and he notices it says Blackstones on it, and he's just quiet. Like, he just gets quiet. And Nana is serving up a plate. She's opened up those millions of tubs of food. And she's like, it's cold, so I'll warm it up a bit, okay? And Nobu's like, where'd it come from? And Nana's like, don't you get it? You're so slow. No, he's playing dumb, Nana. Like, I don't think he's being slow. I think he's playing dumb. I think he knows. Because, like, the expression on his face at this point, like, he's sad about it. He knows.
Yeah. Or, he was woken up at 6.
What?
Or he was woken up at 6 in the morning. He was like,
it's a combination, but but I don't know. I feel like him asking where'd it come from is just like not wanting to like connect the dots. I don't care if you're sleepy or not. Who else is all that shit? Who else?
There's only one.
There's only one person. And like a customized cake. Come on.
Right.
So then he like runs out of the apartment while she's heating up food. So then she runs after him and she's like, Nobu, wait, where are you going? And he's like, I'm gonna thank her or apologize. And then Nana's like, hey, it's like 6 a.m. Hachiko might not be up yet. And then he looks back at her and he's like, oh yeah. And then Nana's like, phew. Because like Hachi's not home.
Nope.
Nana doesn't want Nobu to know that. She's still meddling.
Yep.
And so then she goes on to say, and she told me that she's working this morning. So if you're going to apologize, do it. You work all day too, right? And he's like, yeah. And so she's like, come on, let's eat. And so they turn on, I assume, the television. It says, good morning, everyone. Today's Saturday, July 29th. What great weather. Oh, I need to make a note of that.
Right, I'm like, timeline.
Is it correct? Is it the same in yours?
Yeah, it is July 29th. I was
Okay.
getting to that too.
Okay. And it says, in the Canton area, it'll cool down at night due to high winds. Information after the commercial. For a long time, I've thought, and then ... I assume Nobu was saying that, and then Nana goes, Nobu says, Hachiko's a great cook, huh? This is your small talk, Nobu? Like, you were just trying to run to her. And so Nana's just, like, calmly eating. Like, yeah. And she goes, oh? She's pretty average, don't you think? And then Nobu blushes hard. And Nana just, like, I assume that this, like, smile of hers is, like, a gentle smile also comes with, like, a silent chuckle.
Yeah, agree.
Like, that's the way I read it in my head, you know?
Same.
So then she says, I'll leave the dishes here, so call Shin and Yasu to finish them. I'll tell Yasu to come over after work. He could at least take Sundays off. He's a busy man, okay? He's building an empire. We do not criticize anything Yasu does.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like you're his girlfriend, Nana. Jeez.
Ooh.
Burn! Where's the
Burn.
I need a button. I need a button.
We almost need a crowd being like, ooh.
Right? Ooh.
Like, got him.
Right? Got her! Woo!
Woo!
Oh, so Nobu says, wouldn't it be better for all of us to go see Hachi tonight? We also need to say hi to Masato. So then Nana says, whatever you want. I have work tonight anyways. I'm gonna have some cake. And Nobu reaches out and grabs her hand that she has a knife in, that she's going to cut the cake, and says, don't you think it's a waste to cut it? Shouldn't we take a picture first? And Nana's like, already done. And she pulls out a Polaroid. And River's like,
Yes.
give it to me. Why? Are you gonna put it in your Hachi box? Your little Hachi
Yes.
box?
Got a Hachi box. He totally has a Hachi box.
He probably does have a Hachi box. She used this napkin once. You know.
Right? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's very Little Women's. She dropped this glove by the river.
Right?
I didn't have the heart to give her back, so I just keep it in my pocket and rub it.
I mean, Hades does the same thing in Lore Olympus. He's like, I got petals. I
Yeah,
saved the petals. Goes in the drawer.
right? It's just, yep. Mm-hmm. Give me a man who steals something that I thought I lost to remember me by.
Ah, ennui, romance.
Ah. So then, like, a purse starts spilling everywhere, and we have a scene change.
We do. It goes crash, and it's Hachi's purse. Or not her purse. It's her makeup kit. She like
Yeah.
dumped it all over the floor, and she's like, "Oh no!" And she looks back at the bed where Takumi is, but he's dead asleep. Just a Z. And then we have a shot of Takumi's face, and he's out cold because they did it more than likely. And that's what you do. You go to sleep, but he's also tired.
He's tired. He's overworked.
Yeah, for sure. So Hachi's in her head, and she says he didn't notice the alarm going off or me shuffling around. Takumi must be exhausted. And she's like next to the bed, like really close to, she's leaning on the bed. But he's not waking up. And she's thinking, but he still let me come over. I'm happy, but I feel a little guilty. And then she writes in a notepad. It's on the table there, and it says, sorry to bother you when you're busy, but thank you. I'll email you. And now she's leaving, and she's still in her head, and she's like, I thought I was just someone convenient for Kumi to sleep with whenever he wanted. But maybe it's more like I'm the one using Kumi as someone convenient to hold me when I'm lonely. And then there's a clink of Shin's big lighter. And it's technically a scene change.
Yeah, no, that was too short. Keep going.
Okay. So he picks up his lighter and he's kind of swinging it as he's like he's going to put it, around his neck. And Rira's sitting there in like a bath towel, like clutching her little clutch purse and just staring off at a distance.
It's
And
her wallet where she keeps her dollars.
all of her dollars.
Yeah.
So many dollars. My
That
goodness.
pop star money.
Yeah, yeah. And Shin, oh, it's so cute. He picks up his blast cherry cigarettes. They were dedicated to the band, so we smoke these cigarettes. And he puts one in his mouth, and then he puts the pack in his back pocket. And Reaver opens up her wallet to get all the dollars out, and there's a flick of a lighter. And she goes to hand him like a lot of what is that?
That's a lot of $100 yens.
It's a lot of $100 yens.
Or they're $10,000. Those are 10,000 yens. Those are 10,000 yen dollars.
10,000 yen dollars.
$100 bills.
$100 bills.
Mm-hmm.
And
how many? I'm gonna count them. 1, 2,
right, I'm like
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 drawn there.
right. And Shin says, I don't want it. And he's leaving. And she's got like the stark eyes. And he goes to, the door to open it. And she comes after him to stop him. And he says, I don't want it. Like aggressively. And I'm like, what? Shin, he's so aggressive.
Oh, in mine he says, you don't get it.
Oh.
You don't get it. I don't want it.
He says, I told you I came to make up for last time. And Rira says, well then, you can make it up to me by taking this. And I don't quite understand what she means by that.
So in mine, she says, in that case for this, You can just come back again.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Like she's paying for next time.
Mm-hmm. That makes way more sense. Because I'm like, what is she talking about? What are you going on about?
Yeah.
But there's like a beat. And she's, holding it out to him. And he's looking at her and he's sad. He's got sad eyes.
He has sad eyes and she has sad eyes. They have sad eyes together.
Mm-hmm. But he takes the money and he puts it in his pocket and he leaves. And Rira slumps onto the floor in like the darkness of, I assume, her mind.
Yeah, I think that's in her head too.
Mm-hmm. And then we're back with Takumi in his room.
In Takumi's room. Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, Takumi. He looks miserable, kind of sick, but I really just think it's because he's a whiny baby. And the manager opens the door and says, "Sorry, Takumi." Or sorry, Taki-chan. That's what Takumi says. I was sleeping. And so Taki-chan says, "I thought so. That's why I came early. Don't worry. Here's your change of clothes." And Takumi's like, "Oh yeah, thanks." And he goes and grabs his cigarettes that say a slur and sits down on his bed. And the manager man says, "I'll leave it here. Get yourself ready, okay?" And so Takumi says, "I'll take care," or no, does he say, "I'll take care of Rira first?" Yeah.
No, that's
Manager man.
yeah, because Takumi's reading the note that Hachi left.
That's right. That's right. In mine, she says she apologized for being difficult.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. She gotta stop doing that.
Agreed.
And so Manager Man says, "I'm going to take care of Rira first." And then Takumi looks over. He's like, "Rira was staying in this hotel too? Why?" And then there's a slam. And it's Rira. There's a slam. And there's Rira just sitting there reading. And then Takumi looks angry getting into the van. And says, "So I heard you're sick. You have a cold?" And Rira's like, No. Her made me feel nauseous. No, it didn't.
Nope.
And Takumi's like, "But you're usually never car sick, and you've always loved to called out."
Yeah.
And so Rira's like, "Are you worried?" And Takumi says, "Of course. In our band, if you're out of oil, the entire engine stops. Everyone is affected. You have to use oil."
You have to use oil.
And then he hands her, like, I assume one of those vitamin things. Like
yeah,
a shot of
yeah.
vitamins. He hands her that. And Rira's like, "Don't talk to me like I'm a machine."
It's true.
And so Takumi, he has the big squiggles everywhere. Like, all the squiggles. And he's like, "Puff, jeez. I'll drink it. It was just an example."
You have to use oil.
You have to use oil here.
I mean, in mine he said get a tune-up, but I like that you have to use oil.
You
That's
have to use
better.
oil. What kind of oil, Takumi? If it's just an
Right?
example.
Right?
It's just a metaphor. What's the metaphor for oil here?
Right? So many questions.
Right. So we have a narration box, and it says, "That day, my job was to sell milk at a supermarket." So then here's Hachi in the supermarket in like a little like milkmaid type thing, like a handkerchief on her head, and she said, and so she's like smiling, samples like Costco. I assume that's what it's like. And,
oh yeah.
Or like Trader Joe's, they have samples too, but not the same. Not the same.
No.
And so she's like, good milk from Hokkaido. It's fresh. Yeah, I mean, I would hope that it's not old. So like more narration. I wonder I will have to live this way. This never-ending monotonous life.
Mm.
I thought you liked your weird job.
Right?
Because you
Right?
had to do something different every day. But yet nobody wants to work, Hachi. Like nobody.
Right.
And people who do want to work, they probably don't want to do what they're doing for work. They want to do what they want for their own work. So like you're just learning what life is. Welcome to capitalism.
Hmm.
Bum, bum, bum. Where's my buttons?
I know. Yeah, that's capitalism, folks.
So we're at the apartment now, and the mailbox is being opened for 707. And she opens it and thinks to herself, where's the key? It isn't here. So Masato didn't go out. And then there's a letter that's for Hachi. And it's from, Mizukoshi. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Remember that
yeah.
guy?
Yeah, remember that guy, guys? The owner of Sabrina, who went off and got married. And so this is a postcard of him. And so she's looking at it, and then there's a little she down, and it says, "No kidding, a letter from huh?" And then it's big dots. She's looking at it. It's really cute. It says, "Hi, Hachi. So Hachi, still alive? Write me sometime. Still alive?
Are you still alive?
Barely."
Barely.
And so as she's reading it, she's like, "He didn't need to write just to tell me this." So she's in her head. Such luck. I envy them. I can't wait to get married. His wife is cute. A childhood friend, huh? I'd like to have a handsome childhood friend too. So bitter. At least in my head, it's bitter.
Oh, it's so better. I'm like,
It's so
ooh.
bitter. Even if I can't find the job that suits me, if I could spend my life cooking meals for the man I love, it would be the greatest happiness. At least for me. But Takumi isn't the type who would want to get married. And it's not something I would wish upon him. In the end, I have to end this ambiguous relationship as soon as I can to be able to live a normal love story. But can a girl like me find a man who would love her for life? What will I do if I grow old like this without any ambitions? What if I end up dying alone?
Oh boy.
I mean, you're not going to die alone. You might end up sad, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that might be a thing. Do you want to switch or do you want me to keep going?
We could probably switch. Let's see, where would we?
Okay.
Yeah, because this part's actually kind of long through here. So she's up at the door now, and it's Masato. She's open, she's greeting her. She's like, "Welcome home, Hachiko. Now everyone's here." And Hachi's like, "Huh?" And Masato's like, "It's a party in honor of Blast getting signed." And now her eyes are all big because Yasu and Nobu and Shin are here. Nana is not because she's working. And Yasu says to Masato, "Well, we haven't decided yet." And Masato says, "So what are you waiting for?" And Yasu says, "Various things." And he's got like a sweat drop. And not Shin, Nobu also has a sweat drop. And he's like what? But Shin is so happy to see Hachi. He's running towards her like a little kid, all the flowers. And he says, "Hachi!" with a
He
heart.
spills beer on her head.
He does. He pounces on her. He even says bounce. And I'm like, oh, he's happy his mom's here.
Mm-hmm.
So happy. But he says, "I'm so sorry. The cake was amazing." And now tears are welling up in her eyes. And she's thinking,
Drink
oh,
some
Shin.
water. It's been a few chapters. Drink some water.
Right?
I'm sure
Like,
you're very dehydrated. She hasn't cried in a while.
least she's not like freak out crying. It's just like genuine, like, oh.
I mean, it's as good as it's getting though, because there hasn't been a lot of it.
It's true.
Even though, don't worry, you're gonna be overhydrated.
Hmm. And she thinks, oh Shin, heart, make me your bride, which is a little awkward, but you know, she's in a headspace right now.
Oh, in mine, she just says, "Marry me."
I mean, you know, she's in a headspace right now.
She's like, "Shin Shin, marry me."
Because he's so genuine.
He loves her.
He does. Great. Love it. So sweet. But then Nobu's like, hey, Shin, lay off, man. She's crying. And we're back in Hachi's head, and she's thinking, I can't play guitar or keyboard. I'll never be a member of Blast. But my love for these guys and their music is something special. I will always cherish that. There are pictures of like the cake with the blueberries and the blackstone cherry cigarettes. And I think it's Yasu's talking. Now we're going to talk like business, like band business. And he says, so for a straightforward punk band like us, I think it might be better for us to develop a strong fan base by going to an indie label instead of signing to a major label and hoping for a hit on their terms. And then Hachi and Nobu both say, but why at the same time? And I assume at the same frequency.
Probably. I mean, puppy mode.
Right. And they look at each other and with like sweat drops and like little blush circles on their faces.
Because they in love.
Uh-huh.
Puppy love.
And your puppy love. Puppy love. She just inserts that song there.
Genuine puppy love, those two.
Mm-hmm. But Nobu like smiles, like happy smile, and Hachi's blushing. And Shin is watching this entire discourse go down because he's got the dot dot dots.
He's been waiting forever.
Uh-huh. Forever.
Right? Probably the longest.
Oh yeah.
Shin definitely caught on the soonest.
Mm-hmm. So observant.
But it is his job.
It is. It is.
Shin should just become a matchmaker.
Yeah, he'd be good at it, I think.
Probably would.
Yeah. So we got.
I think so.
Yeah. And Masato says to Yasu, she says, well, these days, bands on indie labels can be almost as big as ones on major labels. But if you're going to end up on a major label anyway, why wait? And Yasu's got like the tick lines and the sweat drop, and he's like, well, you have a point. Masato, you know your stuff. But she's also saying, like, if a major label has already shown interest, like, why wait? And now we get like a shot of Yasu with Nana sitting on his like shoulder, but it's like
as a
shitty.
dominatrix.
Yep. And it says Queenie next to her. She's wearing a crown and has a whip.
She has a whip. Off with their heads.
Up with their head, exactly. And he's like, well, but as far as major labels are concerned, our queen is anxious to make it. So I was thinking, if we're going to go major, we should do it right away. But if you really think about it, sigh. And Nobu says, come on, Yasu, could you be more cautious? Even a stone bridge will break if you keep whacking it to make sure it's safe. And Hachi just laughs. And Shin thinks, stone bridge? Question mark?
It's a metaphor, Shin.
It's a metaphor,
It's a
right?
metaphor.
It's a metaphor. He thinks
It's
he
okay,
needs
Shin.
one.
It's a very literal metaphor. It's a very literal metaphor.
Right. No, it's a real bridge. And Yasu goes on to say, but major labels are all about the bottom line, money. Even if the first song's a hit, if the next one flops, the label drops you. The stigma of being a one-hit wonder makes a comeback very difficult. And Masato says, oh, I get it. So you think it's better to build a dedicated indie fan base first, get big in the scene, and then go to a major label. And Yasu says, yeah, I just think that if we sign now, we'll have to do whatever the record company says. And Masato says, like with money? And Yasu says, not just that, but with everything. But if we wait and get big in the indie scene, labels will offer us better deals, and we'll take our pick. And Nobu, all hype, is like, but I don't care about contract conditions. I just want to get on a major label. We just have to sell, right? And Hachi is over there going, yeah, yeah. And
She's
still in
being a
puppy mode.
cheerleader. Puppy
Oh,
mode.
yeah. Right? And Yasu, he's just, oh man, he's just like, but honestly, do you really think you'll keep churning out hit songs one after the other? And Hachi like jumps up from the table, and Nobu's got like the angry little tick on his face, like, excuse me. But Hachi's like, yes, I know he can do it. I mean, he's already done it. I'm not an indie music fan, and to tell the truth, I wasn't into punk. I found out about the Sex Pistols from watching Sid and Nancy, and even then it didn't make me go punk. And everybody's face, like Shin is looking at her with these eyes, and he got like the lines over his eyes, and he's like, really?
Everyone's face is like so confused right now.
Right?
It's like that shock confusion. Like,
right? I was one of those, like, because of the Sid and Nancy thing. They're all like, really? Sato's so shocked. Hand over her mouth, big empty eyes. And Hachi's like, it's sad but true. And Yasu's like, well, I figured as much.
right? Yasu Abai says, don't worry. We kind of knew.
Right? You don't have to declare it. We figured it out. But Hachi's like, but I love the songs Nobu writes. Nobu's blushing.
Blushing.
And she said, I'm not just saying this because he's my friend. I've always loved his songs since the first time I heard him play. I was really surprised. I was impressed. It was so cool it gave me goosebumps. He's got the riffs that sell.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
The riffs that sell.
The
I'm
riffs
like,
that
no. Mine says, I was really surprised and really touched. It was so beautiful that it gave me shivers. You couldn't be anything but successful.
No, that's better.
Not the riffs that sell. I feel like that's like the attempt of like Walmart to sell like Slipknot. These are the riffs that sell, kids, like 90s stuff.
Right? And I'm hip. I'm down.
I'm down. I'm so hip.
So hip. Are these what the kids are into? How you do, fellow kids?
These are the riffs that sell, kids. Kids, not sell kids, but I mean,
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that was dark. I was like, they do have like an underage like prostitute.
They
do. Anyway.
Nobu was like, Hachi? And he's still blushing. He's like, it's all right. I understand, but thanks. I can deal with this. And she's got ... and she's thinking, but...
And in mine she's got squiggles. And more squiggles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, he says, I'm so happy I could cry. And now Hachi's blushing. Like, so much. And Shin's happy. He's smiling.
Well, because he knows what's up.
Oh, yeah. He's like, yay!
And, like, Hachi sits down embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she sits down so fast her hair is flying up.
Right. And Masato says, I agree that Nobu can write songs that'd be major label hits. And Yasu has the ticks, and he thinks, really? Or he says, really, like under his breath. And Masato continues to say, well, it makes sense that mostly indie fans would be into early Blast songs because Ren wrote most of them. But Nobu's songs are more pop than Ren's. So depending on production and promotion, I think a wider audience would be into them. And Hachi says, but obviously Ren's songs have mass appeal. They sell millions. And Masato says, well, that's because he's tailored them for Trapnest. He's writing for the masses, which that's true. And Yasu says, right. Masato, you have quite an understanding of the biz. I'm impressed.
Of the biz.
Of the biz.
Oh my goodness. Who was this translated by? I feel like it was translated by a middle to late age white man in the early 2000s.
Probably was. The riffs that sell in the biz.
The riffs that sell in the biz.
But Masato says, I'm impressed with Ren. He can write songs to fit the band's image and turn them into hits. And Yasu says, but Trapnest songs sell so well because of Takumi's arrangements too. If Takumi arranges and produces, any song can be a Trapnest hit. And now we have Hachi and Nobu.
Nobu is like sitting there pretty cool.
He is, but there's like, let's not pretend we heard Takumi's name kind of feel.
I'm not reading it that way.
Oh,
I'm reading it that he's in his head, looking cool. Hachi's nervous. He's got all those compliments.
Oh, I can see that. I don't know, Hachi's face. Hachi's face.
She's feeling embarrassed.
Yep. And Nobu says, yeah, but I have to wonder, how does Ren feel about Takumi messing with his songs so much? And Shin says, yeah, totally. Don't most bands arrange their songs together? I wouldn't like being told how to play. And Yasu says, well, now Takumi gets input from the others too. He knows their strengths and weaknesses. In the old days, Takumi wrote all the songs, and the band was just his one-man show. And Masato says, that's why there was a mutiny, right? They went to band members like Spinal Tap drummers.
Spinal Tap?
Yep. Spinal Tap. What a reference.
Yep, that's specific to I'm sticking with this theoretical
It's the old man. They write the riffs that sell in the biz, specifically Spinal Tap.
Sell, and they're all about the movie.
Because like, isn't Spinal Tap like it's a fictional band? It's like a
yes,
spoof.
And I think it's like from the 80s. Hold on.
Yeah, the movie Spinal Tap is like a joke. It's like a big freaking joke.
It's to make fun of like hair bands, right? 1984. Yep. The translator is an old man.
Spinal Tap drummers.
Wow.
Super relevant guys.
Did not age. It was already aged by the time that it.
It was, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
She says Naoki's their second drummer, and Ren's the fourth guitarist. And Yasu says, "You really know the details." And Nobu says, "Who would want to be in a band like that? I sure wouldn't. That's not a band." And Hachi has more sweat beads and all the ...
While eating.
And Shin says, so knowing that, Ren still joined Trapnest? Were they friends? And Yasu says, yep. Ren believed in Takumi's vision. And Nobu says, and what vision is that? Like, super dramatic. It means of world domination?
And mine says, it says belief, Takumi's belief. And then in the little side thing, it says, "Faith in himself, future master of the world."
Yeah,
Yeah.
master of the world.
Maybe Takumi is the demon lord.
Oh, have not considered this. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! The whole time, the whole
The
time.
whole time!
It's not okay.
It's not okay, take it back.
Take it back.
It's actually just like the higher godly version is the demon
Oh,
lord. And like Takumi
yeah.
probably isn't even aware, or he is aware because he has like a deep like occult sanctuary in his apartment.
Maybe.
He's transmuted himself into like, a god
Oh
in his
man.
mirror room at the top of his house.
Oh man. It's happening.
It's happening, and he knows how to astral project. So he
Oh
doesn't actually ignore Hachi as much as he thinks. She's just not
no.
aware, and he was actually stalking her for a very, very, very long,
Oh no.
just in the astral plane.
Oh no. It's too real.
Oh, it's too fluid. I'm way too good at this.
I I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it, but like I can physically hear my brain going, you know.
Highly possible.
Yes. No, I love that.
Oh man.
Oh dang.
Oh
Yasu.
no. And like Takumi is just like the reincarnation of Nostradamus and like Aleister Crowley and all of these weirdos from Europe. And in turn, like he's like, oh, I want to be a Japanese pop star. And
Oh
now
no.
here.
Oh
No.
I'm gonna be a Japanese pop star this go around.
And I am the demon lord, so I can do what I will.
Right? Oh
Or
dang.
unlocked.
Yes. And I want this specific high priestess. Yes, this one.
Oh no.
Oh, and Nana is the saint, and
She's the
now
Madonna.
yeah, yeah.
The martyr.
Oh, mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
It's actually divine. Like her baby's actually divine. Like she's never actually had sex with anyone. It's all in her
Oh,
head. It's
no.
all in her head.
Oh no! Came down as a shower of
This is
gold.
all just a dream.
This is all just a dream. Oh no! Hey, we solved it, kids. That's the
We
actual
solved
end
it.
of Nana.
Have a
That's
good
what it is.
night. Thanks for
Have a good
showing up.
night. That's how this story ends. I mean, we don't know the actual ending, so it could just all be a dream
It's all just a dream.
within a dream.
Yep.
But
Yep. Sorted.
sorted.
It was finished. You just didn't know.
You just didn't know. Oh.
You were reading it wrong. I know that you enjoy reading it wrong, but you were really reading it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, back to the story. I'm sorry, I'm done.
No, you're fine. So good. But Yasu takes a beat and he looks at everyone. He's all cool and shocked. Look at how cool he is. And he's quoting Takumi here, who said, "Only I can create the music that sets the stage for the power and beauty of Rira's voice." And like Nobu and Hachi look like, wow. And Shin looks almost like stumped in a way.
I don't know. I feel like he looks kind of shocked, but also he doesn't care.
Hmm. Interesting. Because I
Like
start
he's
to
got the big
really
pupils, but also at the same time, like he's got no expression on him.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm
Like his
only
eyes are
wondering.
wide open.
True. but it's because of his like later expression that I'm like, oh, he's thinking. He's thinking in there.
Yeah, the wheels are turning because like he's just like I think that a part of him is just like
Yeah. But he also like he's been sleeping with Rira, so
this is true. This is true, and they don't know that.
nope. Mm-mm. And then Nobu, like I'll sweat drop. He's like, wow, damn. Well, that's pretty intense. And Hachi's like blushing and she's got the dots and she's thinking, I know. I'm like, what do you know? What do you know, Hachi? What does he say to you when you guys are sleeping together? Um, I want to know. Uh, and Masato, she's also blushing and she's like, but weren't you jealous that he said that about your girlfriend? And now, for the first time, I am like realizing Yasu, like, he's been keeping it pretty cool up till now, but now he's like, bah! Like, he's
Right?
like,
He's so shocked. He's so shocked.
he is, he's like, girlfriend, now how do you know about that too? Like, he's so shocked, like, his cigarette is out of his mouth.
Yeah, if it's flying towards her face.
Yes. And Masato says, there's almost nothing about my hometown bands that I don't know. She's dropping the mask a little bit. And she says, I do my homework. It's what keeps me going.
Oh, see, in mine, she says, I will always gather all of the information. It's my life.
That true Ravenclaw. Masato's a total Ravenclaw.
She has a Ravenclaw sun, moon, and rising.
Right.
I mean, her Mars is in Slytherin, but, you know, you can't win them all.
Oh, man, the houses as houses? What?
What? Yeah, you're welcome for that.
What? Oh, my God. Oh, I love that. Yes. So Yasu's like, okay, but we broke up like a long. She goes, I know. And then he's just thinking, dot dot, sweat drop. And Nobu's like, wow, Masato, I didn't even know that. And Hachi's in her head, and she's like, jealous? Me? Shouldn't I be jealous? That's quite a bond.
I
And she's
mean,
thinking, like, to me. Yeah. He's like holding Rira in her mind's eye, all like sexy, like and sparkly with her pretty hair and flowers. Yeah, and she's thinking maybe they're a couple. Maybe he's
right?
not so cool. No,
Are they dating? Are they dating?
what? And then Shin is thinking still, but his eyes are different.
Yeah, that's what I mean though, because he didn't have the wide eyes like the other two did. Like, yeah, they were a little shocked, but they weren't like
Saucers.
And he didn't throw his cup.
No.
So, you know, he's processing the information. He's also the wise one.
True. Sage face.
Yeah.
So Yasu says, we're really off on a tangent here. We've got to figure out what to do with our band instead of gossiping about Trap Nest. And Masato says, yeah, you're right, sorry. But Yasu, oh, Nobu, he says, but Yasu, you always change the subject when it's about you. True, he does. Hachi's still over here in her head with all the
She's
like,
freaking out.
She's freaking out. Yep. She's like, what's wrong with me? I should be jealous, but actually, I think they'd be a good couple. And then Shin's like, well, what's the point of discussing this when Nana's not here? And Masato's all shocked. She's like, oh my God, you're right. I can't believe I did that. And Yasu says, so when's Nana coming home? And Nobu says, oh, she's working tonight, so she might not come home. And then Hachi thinks, oh no, Nana's not coming. But I haven't seen her in days, and she slumps. I only saw her on stage yesterday, but that's
In
just...
mind, she says, what a deception.
What a deception!
What a deception. She
Who's
needs like murder.
deception?
Like from the 1960s, they're like popular. They've been popular for a few years now. And they're like
Oh.
there's the ones with like the big sleeves, all the ruffles, and they're like sheer. And like, women would wear them at the top of like giant staircases.
Oh, yep.
Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she needs a murder robe. What a deception.
What a deception. I want a murder robe.
Everybody needs a murder robe, I think.
Shin, he goes, hey, Hachi, will you go buy some wine? We're out, because Shin drank it all. He said, Nobu, you can go, Nobu can go with you. For your safety, of course. You plotter.
Uh-huh.
And he said,
Scheming.
no,
Scheming.
it's fine. But Nobu's like, Shin, you go by yourself. And he goes, I look too young. They won't sell me anything. Wouldn't I look good in a school uniform? Because now he's drawn in like
It's like a high school uniform.
He's so adorable.
He looks like a high school prince.
He does. Be Yuki's friend. Oh my goodness. Be sorry.
Yeah. That's where my mind went too.
Right? Like just be like Shin. It's okay. Like I know that, Yuki has Toru, so he's safe, but he needs more friends. So
He's more friends.
he
Exactly.
needs go be his friend. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But Nobu's like, it's all right, Hachi. I'll go get some. Don't come with me.
Wait,
And
where? Oh, in his head, he says, please.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, in his
like,
head.
no, he doesn't say that out loud.
No, he wouldn't. He's thinking in his head, and Yasu's thinking, grab some sake while you're at it. And Shin says, bad idea. Nobu looks underage too. But Hachi, you're so hot, they'd never card you.
Mine says, but Hachi's become really sexy lately, so there won't be any problem. He's pushing her.
He is. He's like pushing it. She's like hot, and he's like, so just go. And now there's a shot of the moon, and it's Hachi keeps thinking, what should I do? And there's a scene change.
Okie dokie. Yeah, it says, what will I do? And then, so Nobu's walking, and he's got a sweatbeat on the back of his head. And I don't know, like, there's like a little thing above his head, like a little curly cue, and I don't think that's his hair. I think that's his, like, energy from his brain permeating from its, like, boiling point right now because he's been blushing so hard. And there's a bunch of dots. And so Hachi is like, I really don't know what to talk about when it's just us in her head. She's not saying that out loud. And her heart is beating super fast. She's blushing. She's walking behind him. But we don't have a heartbeat sound. And so then Nobu turns abruptly, and her heart jumps out of her chest at him.
Right?
Figuratively, but now you see we're in like magical fantasy. So her heart literally jumps out at him. And then he's like, I don't know, why is he so far away? He wasn't that far away. 20 feet away from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like far away from her. And then he's like, hey. Hey. It's no use walking so far away. At least walk in front. I'll be worried about you back there. And so she's like, yes. And then it starts like, she's very dedicated on her.
Right.
Very dedicated. And she's wearing a scarf and is blowing behind her. And then and so then he's like watching her because she like, I don't know, I feel like she walked super fast.
Mm-hmm.
All those sweat beads, that's not just nervousness, that's also perspiration from walking quickly. And she's like, no, I can't walk in front. I'm worried about what's happening behind me. And so now Nobu's shocked. He's like, huh? Sorry, but... And so Hachi looks exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. She's like, could I walk beside you? And he's like, blushing, sweat bead. If you want, of course, go ahead. So now they're walking beside each other with about 5 feet in between each other.
Oh my god.
And she's got like little flowers blushing. And then he's got a little sweat bead and no mouth and little dots in his head. He's just like working on that text message. Composing mode. And so then she yells, thanks.
Oh, yeah. Just,
right? Just like this. Thanks. And so now he's scared. And he's like, for what? And now she looks like weird and sad. It's too many emotions too quick. And she's like, I was convinced you wouldn't talk to me anymore. So I'm happy you came tonight. And then he looks over at her, kind of shocked. Like the kind of shocked.
Yeah.
And then he looks kind of sad about it. Or regretful, maybe? I don't know. And he says, what are you talking about? Not at all. I'll keep talking to you. And so then she stops. She starts crying. And she says, sorry. And he's like, why are you apologizing? You haven't done anything wrong. And she's like, but really, in reality, I'm a really mean woman. Good job holding yourself accountable.
Right.
And now he looks super shocked. And he starts laughing at her.
Oh.
Like a belly laugh. He's like, what are you talking about, a mean woman? Really mean. And she's like, it's true. I'm sure you're idolizing me, Nobu. If not, you could never fall in love with me. Oh. And so then he looks at her like kind of compassionately, and then here's Shin being a little Jiminy Cricket down in the corner here. Jiminy Cricketing, like he does, all of his childlike wisdom. And he's like, Nobu-san. Right? Nobu-san, you should stop idolizing women so much.
Right? Sage.
I mean, he's not a Sagittarius, though. I'll have to make sure that some of his placements are in Sagittarius.
Right. What is he? I don't remember.
He's Scorpio.
A Scorpio. Oh, that's right.
Scorpio. Right. Yeah. So Nana says, when you know the real me, you'll be disgusted. And Nobu looks really sad, and she's crying, and it's narration, and it says Hachi must have felt all alone since she and her boyfriend broke up, huh?
It's Shin.
That is Shin. Yeah. That's a Jiminy Cricket.
Yep.
And so Nobu says, all right, disgust me then. I'm ready at 200%.
Why does it sound like a sexual proposition? That's what that sounds like to me. Like, all right, girl, disgust
me. I'm ready.
I'm so ready.
We need to sell those records to the kids.
Because we're in the biz.
Because we're in the biz. The sexy biz.
The sexy biz.
Oh, man.
Oh.
So she looks up at him with tears still in her eyes. He's looking down at her with kind Nobu puppy dog eyes. And he's like, any other way, I can't see any other way that I would give up. And now she's crying. She was already crying, but now, like, the tears are falling. But that's so sweet. Any other way, I can't see any other way that I would give up. Because he's actually never, sorry guys, he's never going to give up.
Right. Never
I
gonna
mean,
give you up. Never gonna let you.
oh God. I just got rickrolled.
Yeah.
So she's crying. He's looking at her with very gently eyes. And then I don't know exactly. Does she fall into him? Does her? All we know is they collided. And the way that the scarf is moving and the force is moving and his hand is that he grabbed her, but she just fell.
Yeah, maybe it was like they moved at the same time, and then they were.
I think he like grabbed her into a hug.
I mean, that works too. I'm okay with that.
Right?
Mm.
And so now we have like cigarettes and a lighter. And it says, "Hey, Yasen." Is it okay if I keep going?
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay, cool. And it's Shin, and he's like, "Tell me the rest of the story for my personal interest." And Shin's or Nobu or Jesus Christ, Yasu is like the story. Too many. And
Too many.
Masato's like, I don't know what sound she's making, if she's like chopping something or pouring a drink or whatever, but she's over at the kitchen counter. And she's like about huh?
It says scrub in mine. So
She's doing dishes then. Mine's like in kanji, so I can't tell.
Oh.
And so he's like, about Rira. Didn't Takumi's belief make you jealous? And so Yasu's like, of course I was really jealous. For Yasu to admit that he's jealous, though,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So mature.
Right? So mature. And so Shin is like, so you were jealous? Yes, he just said he was jealous. So yes, he's like, I was jealous of his talent. But also of his faith in myself and his determined character. I think it's meant to say also in his faith in him, not myself. Yeah, I think that's a portrait.
Yeah.
And then Yasu, and then so Shin glances at the spear, and then Yasu says, Rira loved Takumi. And then we have flashbacks.
Yeah.
And it says, even before we dated, I don't know why, but she liked him. Being a year older than her, and I was like a big brother. And so it's Ren and Yasu in high school, and then there's Rira waving to them without a face, and Takumi standing behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And so it says, Takumi was already a dirty player back, but he never touched Rira. In a way, it's because he took care of her, but only as a song princess.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I want a shirt that says Song Princess.
Song princess!
I want it.
Song princess.
Song Princess.
Song princess, yes. I think
Disney
that should be a shirt.
Yes.
Song princess, and it's Rira.
And it's Rira.
With like glitter.
Oh,
Sparkles.
yes. All the glitter.
Yes. And so it's Rira and Yasu like on a riverbank theme. And she's saying, I like singing and I'd like to become a machine that I can sing forever. See? I'm sorry, a machine?
Right?
You requested.
You did.
And then you get mad at the human personification of the Demon Lord for calling you a machine?
And telling you need more oil.
Yep. You made the wish, honey. At the river, no less.
She did.
She did. And says a super high-tech machine that would never feel exhaustion or jealousy or desire. She requested it. But if I didn't have any feeling, then I wouldn't be able to sing, huh? And now it's Shin smoking and listening to the story. It's Rira in a dark box that's saying being a human is tiring. Same, girl. Same.
Yep.
Same. And then it's Yasu in the present day and says, I found that touching. And so I tried to convince her to give up on Takumi so she'd go out with me. And then Shin laughs at him. And you succeeded.
Yeah.
You did, buddy.
Good job. You
Good
have
job.
did it.
You got the song princess at least for a minute.
And
And so then it says, but from the moment we started dating, the feeling of being unable to compare to when I think about it, it was a stupid. I was unable to help Rira, not when she had problems with the band, nor when she was asking herself if she should go to Tokyo or not. I wasn't able to support her when she needed me most. It's natural that we broke up. And then Shin looks down and kind of sad and says, but you have the strength to support her now, don't you? And Yasu has a little sweat bead. And he's like, let's just say that she doesn't need my support anymore. She's a big girl now. No, she's not. She's still a fucking child.
Yep.
And I'm way too busy taking care of you guys, you know? And then it pans to another scene break. Would you like to?
Oh, I just want to finish up the last bits.
Oh, is it almost done? Oh, we're almost done. Yeah, I'll finish it.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there.
And so it shows the full moon again, and we're in narration mode. I have to say goodbye to Takumi. If I can't do that, then I have to get out of these arms surrounding me. And it's Nobu. Okay, this is kind of awkward. It's Nobu like squeezing Nana's head, but her hands are off to the side in little fisties. Okay, but then she goes and like touches his back and squeezes his shirt. So, and it says, I'll be able to leave him, right? I can do it. I'll be all right. And afterwards, I'll be happy. Because it's in these arms that I can find the destiny I desire. And then we have Nana. She showed up at the apartment, at apartment 707. But Hachi says, that's what I feel. And so Nana asks, where's Hachiku? And Masato says, she went to buy some things. And Nana's like, geez, again? I hurried here by car. We missed each other again? I even brought her a treat. Yasu's like, she'll come right back. And Shin is like, no, she may take a... And Nana's like, why? And Yasu's got dots and dots with his eyebrow up.
Right.
Shin is like, because I sent her away with Nobu-san. And Nana's like, really? Well done, Shin. Go Nobuo. Don't come back till tomorrow morning. Masato's like, But Hachiko-san has a boyfriend. And Shin is like, I bet 10,000 yen that he's gonna do it. And Yasu's like, I bet 10,000 yen he isn't. And Nana's like, I bet 100 yen that they even do it.
Oh, so mean, but hilarious.
Shin's like, is that all? And then we pan over to Nobu and Nana. Nana's still crying, okay? And Nobu goes, Nana? Nana? The feelings that I declare that night. Oh, this is Nana. This is Hachi talking to Nana. Okay. The feelings that I declared that night are still engraved in my heart. They haven't disappeared. Please don't forget the vividness of our dream. And they kiss for the first time, bitches!
Oh, where's that pew pew sound? That meow meow meow. That's the one.
They did
That's
it.
the
They
they
did it.
did.
Okay, do we want to do some news and reviews?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, let's see. We have Dolly 2 years ago. Gosh, if Nana would have just been smart about it, break up with Takumi before she went in Nobuo's arms. Can't say more spoilers, because it's hard to be strong when your emotions are involved, and I understand Nana's weakness. It's just hard to read. And then I can't read that person's name, but responding to Dolly 2 years ago. I agree. I watched the anime about 4 years ago. I know the ending.
Do you?
But I
Do
hear this manga has more to it. Hopefully she switches her way of thinking so she can truly be happy. I mean, okay, so 2 mochi for H8. For hate. 2 mochi for hate. Okay. Uh, she is kind of doing what shows her. I hope she breaks up with him before he finds out. Not the same.
No, that's not the. Yeah.
Not
Mm-mm.
the same. Not the
No.
same. Situationally different.
Yes.
Like, she doesn't have like the confidence of a committed relationship from Takumi. So that's situationally different. Now, we have no idea where Takumi's head is at. I want her to see other girls, but they've never actually had that talk. Or he doesn't want her to see other guys or girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Nobody. So, I mean, situationally different. Not this.
Yeah.
I wish
How do
that it
you?
were. Maybe she could have tasted her own medicine. Like,
Yeah. How do you define relationships, Mochi? Like, because
right. Yeah, like, that's, yeah, yeah, it's not the same.
nope.
Takumi is not Shoji.
No.
And Takumi and Hachi's relationship is not the same as Shoji and Hachi's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The next one says, I love Nobu and Nana so much. I hope she'll be able to end things with Takumi. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh.
That was a year ago. Welcome. You
Welcome.
might still be crying from a year ago. But welcome.
Welcome.
And I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah. That too.
And then, we have our number one.
Our hater.
That. And like nobody liked their comment, just one little dislike, and it says Nobu is no better than Takumi, bro.
Oh.
Our favorite troll.
Our favorite troll who has nothing
Our
else to
favorite
say.
troll. Man, if this person ever listens, okay, if on nanamanga.com your username is Hachiko with just a KO, not a Hachiku, but a Hachiko, and you would like to be a guest on the podcast, I would love that personally.
I mean, it would be interesting.
The number one troll of this
The number one troll. I
phase.
kind of feel like that conversation would be interesting from my perspective, just because I'm gonna be like, oh, Kirsten's gonna read this person the riot act while they desperately trying to find reasons why she's and they can't, and I'm just gonna be like, popcorn. Oh, so good, so good.
So your mom is back in this chapter review as well and says, honestly, Nobu and Nana are the cutest, but I'm worried about her relationship with Takumi. She should resolve that first. Reaver should stop using others to attempt healing the sadness in not being able to be with Takumi to love her. I like that comment.
Yeah, I agree, but shit's complicated.
Right? And then here's Hachiko in for another jab, and it says, Nana and Hachi better.
Like, as a
They want,
couple?
them together, as a couple.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, we've kind of concluded that, but we've also concluded that not all relationships
Yeah.
is better. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Like, that's not wrong, but I also know what you are segueing to. And that goes
Mm-hmm.
back to, I guess, like episode 1.
Yep.
Where it's like, why do we have to automatically assume that all relationships have to be sexual just because we want them to be?
Yep.
And so then Vampire Rose agreed with Hachiko the troll.
Ooh.
And we have Painkiller back for another round as well. And it says, nah, I have a super bad feeling. Please, don't you dare hurt each other. Oh, is it your first time too?
Oh.
Welcome. Are you still crying? I'm still crying, and it's been 20 years. So, you know. Yep.
Wee. Yes.
It's a roller coaster that you didn't know you just signed up for.
You
For
did.
the rest of your life. Welcome to
Rest of your
Yaswa
life.
Purgatory. Please keep your hands and feet.
Do not pull down on the safety bar. I will lower it for you.
Oh my god. Yaswa Purgatory. I can't.
Oh man. Oh man.
Where we all signed up. We didn't know we were staying for life.
We didn't know. Contract
We
with the Demon Lord.
know.
Contract with the Demon Lord. That's what happens when you read Nana. You've signed your name into his black book. This is it. This is at the end.
Right? I mean, I live here now. You live here now. Welcome.
Welcome to hell.
The Yaswa Purgatory is it's just the underworld. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It goes with your manger scene. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Oh no. So we have Traveler Xandra. And it says, I wish Hachi had more self-respect. Takumi is a player who doesn't deserve her. Okay. So here's the thing. I actually think after I have a lot of different opinions that tend to conflict with each other on a regular basis. Hi, I have a Gemini rising. But here's the thing is I think that if she was more empowered in her sexuality under such a of patriarchy through the lens that we're looking at it, which is kind of what and if she was written unrealistically to where she was self-empowered in that sexuality, we wouldn't think that Takumi doesn't deserve of course. Right? Yeah. Oh, you're a tiny little baby boy.
Oh, I'm a tiny baby voice? Sorry, I get closer to the mic.
Okay. It was like,
I'm a baby.
Beep. It went to beep. Yep. But yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, if Hachi was just designed through a different... We all know that Takumi is a player. We know that.
Yeah.
That's part of his character development, right? But and yes, she doesn't have respect. And yes, it is annoying. But I also feel like you can have self-respect and make those choices. That's how to have self-respect depending on what your lot is in life.
Right.
It's part of her development as well, and that's what makes it so realistic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Complexity.
Complexity. Exactly. Realism.
When are y'all gonna learn?
It's just, I mean, you're not wrong though.
Yeah.
She needs to work on it, but she's also a 20-year-old girl who is.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust me, it was really hard to have self-respect in the early 2000s. A woman sleeping with men that don't deserve you. So, The next person comments, this is not going to end well. I can feel it. Oh, you're new here too. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
You can leave your jacket at the door. It gets pretty warm down here sometimes.
It does.
The next person is like, yes, now. End it with Takumi. I mean, darling, Leah. Darling, sweet Leah 7 months ago.
7 months ago, yes.
I'm sure that you've learned your lesson.
Oh, yes.
So Angie says soul ties is a real thing. And it's almost as if she's returning the energy Shoji gave her to her current situation. I think you're mixing up like your things here.
Mm-hmm.
Because soul ties would work.
Yeah, I think that's not the same.
I think that's not the same. I think that's not the same. No. Now, courting, I guess, sure. If that's in your praxis. Okay.
Right.
But that's not necessarily a soul tie. Okay. Next, Vampire Rose. Girl is literally doing exactly. Girl is not doing what Shoji did.
No, it's this comparison to Shoji.
I think they're all just like entering the echo chamber to the left. I need you to exit that echo chamber and come back to the main room. Thank you.
Yep.
And then the final one, right? And then the final one is Renny Tega. And it says, each new chapter is more difficult than previous. Heart is broken. And I'm like, oh. We'll have snacks. Don't worry.
Right.
We've got cookies.
Right. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Right. Do you need something warm to drink? Do you need a weighted blanket?
Yeah.
Something fuzzy.
Yeah.
All the comfort, because if your heart is broken now,
oh yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, right. Already, I'm like, it's too soon. Don't do it yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Stay strong.
Not yet.
Stay strong.
Stay strong, or you're gonna be miserable at the end of this.
Absolutely miserable. Absolutely miserable. You're not going to know what to do with yourself. I mean, that was a year ago, so you probably already are. Welcome.
Right. Welcome. All these people are just like in my head. They're all like in their closets, rocking back and forth.
Right?
Profoundly sad. I'm like,
why did I do it? Why did I trust them?
Why did I trust it? Because you signed your name. I'm sorry. We didn't know what the consequences were.
You signed up as soon as you saw that thing that talked about Nostradamus' prophecy. You should have left. You should have just walked out.
Ooh, what's over here? Oh,
speaking of soul ties. You didn't know you were entering Sanctuary of Demons.
It's true. Should be a welcome plaque.
There should. I mean, there was though. It's the looking for band members. It should be in that style though. This Yasuo.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh no. I'm gonna live here until I die. We know it's never gonna be finished.
But what if it is?
I mean, granted, okay, like, I can't necessarily say that because we never thought that we were going to get another Fatal Frame game in the States. It took 10 years. 10 years of relentless requests, but we got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now we have a second one.
Oh my god.
Granted, it's been like a lot of years in between them, but still.
That's true. Do you think, okay, so here's what it is. Everyone is saying, Yasuo, like, you need to keep writing. You need to, like, do this thing. They're doing it wrong. They need to say, Demon Lord.
Yeah, why aren't you, like, setting up a thing to the demon?
We need to do that. That's what this needs to do. We're doing it wrong. We're doing the spell work wrong, guys.
We're doing it wrong. We need the Demon Lord to heal Yasuo. Okay?
We do.
This.
What we need. That's what we need.
Because it's not that she doesn't want to do it. And I think it's
Yeah.
insane to assume. And you want to know what? Honestly, though, if she does, all right.
Fair.
You know what I mean? But I don't
Yeah.
think that that's the case. If that, you know, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, she wouldn't have gone if she wasn't
Mm-mm.
interested. Um,
Mm-mm.
and like the thing about it is, it's all right, but like, I don't think it's fair to put that expectation on anybody. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's your neighbor. I don't care if it's the checker at the grocery store. I don't care who it is. If it's somebody who is like offering their time, then you need to be fun. And if somebody, even if like like obviously the story touched you enough to where like you feel a certain message to it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like, yeah, sure, it sucks, but like, I've been going through this hiatus from the day that it started.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never once said anything shitty. I could just get over and finish it.
Yeah.
Because that's not my place. And it'll never be
Mm-mm.
my place. And like,
No.
I appreciate the fact that the story exists, even if it's incomplete.
Yeah.
It's a story that made me feel seen when other things didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't replace that sensational feeling for anything. And so I'm grateful to it. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Even though I
Maybe
want
that's,
it to be done. But
oh, yeah. Maybe that's the issue with some people that are coming to this that are, newer to the pain. Maybe that's they must
yeah.
not have the same feelings. I mean, that's fine. It's fine not to have the same feelings, but I'm just like, what's so why are you, like why are you here? Are you just here to be like mad and be like, well, I want my thing and throw a little bit of a tantrum?
Yeah, it's not yours though. You didn't write the
Yeah.
story. It's not yours. And like
Hmm.
the thing about the story though is how much of it could have been foreshadowing. How much of it could have been progression of her life. It's not the only story that about issues with drug use.
Hmm.
And like maybe you haven't read enough of her work with those pieces that like she's literally sharing actual life with.
Yeah.
And so it's like we know that there are certain parts that can be confirmed that are influenced based off of her actual life. So what other parts? What other parts are a part of her life that we don't know about? What if Ren is a what if that really happened?
Yeah.
Because it's not the only story that like lead rock star person died
Hmm.
and it was involving drug use.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler, but fuck you guys. Um, but you know what I mean? And so like I'm just like, yeah, sure. And she's what if it was something after another that happened? It just pisses me off that people are so privileged that they think while being anonymous behind a keyboard actually like an artist, a creator. If you really love her work, then like you would have compassion and love. That's
Yeah.
just my opinion. Like that's my take on it.
No, I mean it's a valid one. I mean, Nate kind of said the same thing too when I was explaining to him the last comment we had in the last episode, and he was like, "Wow, that's kind of messed up." He's like, just to demand things and be like, "Well, you have like a contractual obligation because I bought your book." I'm like, "What?" you know?
Yeah, it's wild.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. You're like, that's not how. Okay, but yeah, exactly. It's right what you know. So I think
Mm-hmm.
there is something to that. Like we don't know. We don't. You're right. We don't.
We
We
don't.
don't.
And she's even while she was writing it, and like her, and I mean, there's a few others, primarily one other mangaka, which I can't remember their name off the top of my head right now, who also lived a very, very private life.
Hmm.
And it's actually pretty common for female to live super private lives.
Mm-hmm.
right? For women who do this work, it's really common. At least
Yeah.
it used to be. But because I feel like it's just a very introverted task, and it's not the same as like webtoon creators today. It's different.
Yeah. That's very. It's very different.
They weren't drawing on YouTube. Like, it's not the same.
Mm-mm.
And it doesn't mean that everybody wants to be. People want a secluded and private life, and they just want to share their story.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's really not none of our business to like worry about things that aren't consensually shared with us.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of glad that Yazawa isn't writing in the now times because, I mean, these comments are, that we've read are like one thing, but like I've even seen it recently, like on Rachel Smythe, the creator of Lore Olympus,
Uh-huh.
like her fan base is starting to become incredibly hostile.
Oh. Recommend doing is not reading it weekly,
Mm-hmm.
letting it build up, like I do,
Right.
and then binging it. And then you
binging
don't
it.
have as much, and then you don't have waiting a
It's true. I mean, I kind of
That's
did
what
that.
that's what I've always done.
Yeah, I didn't read this last week, so I should go back to see if my trash webtoon is updated because I love it. I found a trash webtoon.
Which one? I read a lot of them.
The Princess's Jewel.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that one? I like it.
Yeah. I think I have it subbed, but I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I got my mom to start reading web.
Yeah.
So I just keep sending her. I'm like, read Laura. Like,
Right.
here's the app. Here's what you need to read.
No, I love Princess's Jewels. I think it's great. Like, oh man, people are so mean about that main character though. But I'm like, I like her. There's nothing wrong with her. I've seen
People
worse
are just mean, and I don't
I
know. I don't know if it's always been that way. I feel like it's just getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad.
Personally, I feel like people are like just like there's less enjoyment in the world, and so now they're just like, we're just gonna take it out on each other all the fucking time, and I'm like, just shut up.
No, I agree. I'm like, I like
If
this
you
thing.
hate something, stop it. You don't have to like it, okay? It's not that hard.
No.
You don't have to. No one said you had to.
Mm-mm.
No one is forcing you.
Who's twisting your arm?
Right? Go away.
Oh,
If you don't like it, just stop. Do something you like. Why is that complicated? It's not. That's why.
It's not, but maybe they just don't know how to like things. So
something, I don't know. But anyway, I'm over it.
Same. I like this thing. It's garbage. It's great. I love it.
I read a lot of garbage.
I know. I rarely read garbage, so I'm just like, I like this. This is fun. It also there's pretty boys in it, so
that's fair. Yeah, I kind of have to read garbage though. Stuff like, yeah. I need breaks, you know?
Yep.
Because I digest a lot of very complex information on a regular basis.
You do. Why do you think I'm reading all the Oz books right now? I'm like, I'm just gonna stay right here because reading these makes me happy. They do. They're adorable, and I like.
They are. I do love the Oz books. I really do.
Yeah, super great. I'm on Rinky Pink and Oz right now.
I'm right now researching what classes I want to take in the fall.
That is completely different and more complicated sometimes.
Yeah, I have a lot of options too.
I hope they're fun options.
They are. It's astrology college.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm like, please be fun.
I mean, complex, yes, but they're astrology college.
Fair.
And I'm like kind of thinking I want to focus on history and horary. Since I really don't need like natal, I understand natal, you know what I mean? But I could be better at elections, kind of where I am. And I want to take all the history.
Horary?
Horary is the divinity astrology.
Okay.
And it's
It's
also
not
used like, and you also need electional tools in order to do it.
okay. It's not using horror movies for astrology.
No. Horary.
Okay.
Horary.
I kind of want the other one though, too.
Yeah.
Somebody do
Or
this.
horror astrology. Horror
Horror.
astrology. It's a
Horror.
double entendre.
Oh man, that'd be so much fun. Like using horror films to explain astrology. That would be a lot of
With a
fun.
lot of cleavage so that I'll appear like a smart girl.
I mean, it goes into it too, especially if you watch a lot of Hammer films. There's a lot of cleavage.
Yep,
So
exactly.
yeah.
I want Scream Queen astrology. I want somebody to do that.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
That would be so much fun.
I want it. I need it. Somebody. Anybody.
Somebody.
Somebody.
Scream Queen astrology.
Scream Queen astrology.
Yes. You're
Man,
welcome.
that's a mouthful.
Take it,
Oh,
run with it.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here. Check out all the socials. And thanks for being here. And we will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye forever.